Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lights Out League Racing. We are season 24, race 2, and we are here at the fantastic and fabulous Marina Bay in Singapore. Such a fantastic track, and it's a divided one. You either love it or you hate it. It's at night. It's dark. It is basically Marmite. Yeah, we're on race 2. Had a fantastic race 1 with I'm a D taking the first punches, and currently on top spot. Adam getting second and Thelemy in third. Could have got that second, but he didn't fuel enough. What a rookie mistake! What a rookie mistake! But yeah, we can just, as you can see, we've got 18 on the grid. Last minute dropout by Barcelona, and unfortunately Dan just couldn't make it in time. He's been held up at work, but we do have a full grid, and apart from that, and one or two drivers that were missing last week who have managed to join us. Devil Racing front. So yeah, we've Devil Racing, who are on Devil Rejected, who are on now, has taken up a full-time seat in the place of Linazukan, who just couldn't fully commit to their season, unfortunately. But Linazukan is joining us as a reserve for Red Bull. It's nice to see Portuguese Beast back, the current reigning champion. I've missed the first week, and of course United are losing, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Just don't. We'll flick on and do a hot lap with Devil Rejected. So coming down to turn 1 of the Shears corner, and then we're in the S-bends of turns 1, 2 and 3, dropping down to 90 kilometres an hour. Open up the throttle down Republic Boulevard up to 260 kilometres an hour. Just on the left hand side, flicking round turn 5, braking down to 145. First DRS zone of the lap officially. Around Raffles Boulevard, one of the fastest sections on the track as we come down to heavy braking of turn 7. Just clip the inside of that apex, and on the left hand side for turn 8 and Stamford. Now it is a slow part where you want to go as wide as possible and turn in on Padang onto St Andrews Road. Now this part is very tricky, but you've got to flick it round here. A blind left corner, goes a little bit wide on Singapore Sling. Turn 12 here, and they've adjusted that, so there's a little bit of kink on the left, but it does bring you to turn 13, the hairpin, right in front of the Fullerton Hotel. Just the second DRS of the lap, bringing you over the bridge, up to turn 14 where it almost meets turn 8, onto Raffles Avenue, which is a new reprofiled piece of track, which I'll explain in a bit, but it brings you to a heavier braking zone down to turn 17, and you want to get a good exit here. As wide as possible on the right to get as much traction on turn 18 and 19, where you're going flat out 180 kilometres an hour, coming over the finish line and get that DRS open again. Now we got a 129.8, so it's a good first lap from there. And Katz does jump in with a 29. Katz got the 29.8, Devil's got 32.5, so shows there's plenty of time to be found. As Oxford goes 29.1. So there's a bit of discussion about what the fastest pole time would be. It looks like a McLaren maybe is coming round. There's a big Raki. No, it's AJ. He's just coming over the line to start his first lap. It was a bit of chat. I reckon a mid-28s is probably going to be fastest time, as a couple of the fast runners are coming in early 29.1s. So Ox has currently got provisional pole. Salami jumps in with a 30.2. Now we'll see get some more team play from the Mercedes boys. As Portuguese goes in the 28.9, so setting that early benchmark. And was the Alpha Giza jumping in provisional 5th place with 29.9. It's a great time from him. And AJ just coming up and finishing his sector 2. Going along. Sorry, a bit cheap up. Yeah, going along this new reprofiled bit of track here. Yeah, it used to be the float section, which was like between turns 16 and 19, and it was a fun bit to drive. Like, it was very technical, and just jumping up into P4, the 29.1, so it was a great time from him. Yeah, very technical but slow. It's just slowed it down, and this new layout that they've done, it just means it's a lot faster. You've got more opportunities for overtaking, and that Portuguese coming around. There it is. His current team up today, Gad Tartain. I think everyone's jumping in the pits. We've got a lap, but we'll jump on Amadi, who's in sector 3 now. He's just started, just getting a bit of slipstream off the drivers in front. Don't think Portuguese Beast want to be giving him too much advantage, but he will be challenging for that provisional pole. Coming around the fast corners, flat out. Jumps up to provisional pole of 28.7, so those times are dropping. And it shows there's plenty of time to find for the other boys. I think everyone else is. Let's see if he's on a hot lap. He's 4 tenths up, but he's jumped into pits. Probably doesn't have enough fuel. Yeah, better opportunity, overtaking opportunities, but also it speeds up the lap time for about 20 seconds, I think it is. So there's still 4 drivers to set a time. Unfortunately, Jack's has got a quali ban this week, so he's done his out lap, and we'll be starting from the back. But there's always that great bit of fun where you get to try and do the last of first challenge. I don't know how much he'll be challenging at the front, but will be interesting to see him work his way up. So as we wait for drivers to come around and do their second lap, see if someone's on an out lap. Who's first? It looks like there's a Red Bull first. Is it Thelemy? Thelemy has just gone in, so it's a Haas. Let's find who the Haas is. It's Noodles. He's on his out lap, so we'll follow him first. So yeah, Marina Bay, 4.9 kilometres, so it's a little bit shorter. It's about 200 metres shorter overall. With the changes, and anti-clockwise track, now 19 corners, 12 to the left and 7 to the right. There's 3 TRS zones. I say that there's one that, to be fair, you can take advantage of all of them really. There's never really one that's weaker than the other, so it'll be interesting to see people that capitalise on them. An interesting fact about this track, for how it's been held on the calendar, is that holds a record for having a safety car every single race. So will we get one today? I reckon. United 1-1. There we go. I'm going to keep updating with the Premier League scores, by the way. So yeah, 1-1, lovely. Yeah. Will we get one tonight? I reckon. By the talk in the chat, I think there will be a high chance we're going to get one. So as Noodles is just coming round out of the second sector, down straight, the new reprofiled straight. Is of course in the night sky. If it was in the day, it'd just be too hot, too humid. As he's coming round, setting his first lap time, goes up to P12 with a 1:33. First lap there from him. I'm sure he's got plenty more time to find. Let's see who else we've got. It looks like some Alpha Tauris are coming round. All the cars are they? None of them are on there. There's a Rari. There's a Rari. Is it Amadi? Is he on another one? He's in the pits. He's in the pits. Let's jump on someone of this. Let's see how Oxox gets on. So he's currently 8/10 up on his time. Wow. If he can keep... Oh, he's invalidated, though. That's why. Ugh. So let's jump on Adam. So he's just coming around the final corner. 4/10 up. Will that take him to provisional pole? Up to P2 with a 28.7. 3 thousandths off provisional pole. But a great lap. Great lap. As I think it was... Gad Ruffle Tartane. I'm going up to 29.6, jumping above Katamise. Is Cat on a lap now? He is 7/10 down, unfortunately, on his lap. Gad Ruffle Tartane is actually 6/10 up on his time. We'll follow him round. It'd be interesting to see. Can he get into the 28? So he's looking at potentially on this current lap, provisional P3. Oh, he is unvalidated though. I need to look at that first. Rookie mistake, man. Rookie. Well, let's see how our man AJ gets on. He is in sector 3. Skids round, just hits the wall. That could have impacted his time. It does, and he just jumps in the pits. He knows he's down his time. Okay, Portuguese Beast. He's a 10.5 up, which isn't quite enough to get in there, but he will have time to find in the rest of the lap. He's on his last sector. Can he find time? Just goes a little bit wide. Has that impacted his lap time at all? And crosses the line. Goes provisional pole with 28.6. So just sneaks ahead of Amadi and Adamako for that provisional pole. People have still got time to find. We'll see how Devil Rejector gets on. 10 seconds. Down 21. What's going on? What's going on with that? It's not going fast enough. Is he? Is he? Is he? No, he's not. Project Tie is down on his time, unfortunately. Thelemy crosses the line and jumps up one place to P10. Again, I think he's still got a bit more time to find. Yeah, it's all to play for. Everyone's going to be jumping back in the pits. Back out again for a final lap. I think Thelemy, yeah, he's got a good second or so to find to get himself in contention for podium shout. He was on the podium last week in Qatar. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. So yes, night race. It's actually now one of 6 night races, alongside Qatar, Bahrain, Jeddah. We had the Sakir during COVID times, and then the new Vegas is a new addition. So, but the Singapore was actually the first track to have a night race, 2008. They're not with us long, but there's still plenty of action. Safety cars galore. I don't know if you just saw there where Thelemy just invalidated. So those thick white lines around the edge, they do. You have some that are really close to the wall, and some that are so wide, so that such a distance from the wall that there's so many opportunities to invalidate. Definitely going to turn 6 is one there. Is a well, obviously the S-bends. There's a lot of people will invalidate on the S-bends. Is that Ahmed D that's back out? Is he jumping back in the pits? This is a second. He's not a second up on his time. That's mad. He's not 1.1 seconds up on his time. No, he's invalidated. That's why he's 1.1 seconds. Jeez, I got to check these things. Let's check on Cat, who did. He's almost 4/10 up on his time. So that potentially get him up to currently P6. Let's see if he can improve on that. Yeah, so he's just going round. Just went round turn 6 there, which is a chance of invalidating. Going through the chicane after the Singapore sling. And then, yes, turn 14 at the end of sector 2. Really difficult one to navigate. And if you go too wide, you will easily invalidate. So I'm expecting 1 or 2 penalties in this race. But Mercedes team have got an early lead in constructors. He's dropped some time. Can he make it up in the rest of the lap at all? He's lost about 3/10. He's made a bit of a mistake. Lost a bit of traction somewhere. Let's see if he can improve much. He's going to want to jump these 2 places in front of him at least. And he does go up to P6. But he'll be kicking himself. I don't think he'll have enough time to do another track. Joined here by his best mate, compatriot, whatever you want to call Cats. Separated for a few times this season, last season, and Cats has dropped down to reserve for this season. He's just got a bit too much on that he can't commit to full-time seat, but he's glad to have him with us, and he's the only representative of Williams, with Dan unfortunately not with us this evening. So let's see what he can do. Currently in sector 2. Just come up to the end of that now, so we'll see where his time is. And he's 5 seconds up, so he's made a mistake. Someone's not going to improve that much. As we see, Big Racky, I think that's the end of him now. Devil Rejected has now retired, so we'll jump on with AJ. First of the front runners doing a lap. This is it now. If you're not coming out, you're not going to be doing a lap. As he's just going to be coming to the end of sector 1 in these 2/10 up, so that currently will jump him up a place above Ox. He's going to want to maybe pull another couple of tenths out to challenge and to get in the minds of Adamaka and Amadi. I don't think he's got quite enough to get up to Portuguese, but we shall see. As coming round the hairpin, turn 13, and down Anderson Bridge to the end of sector 2, and it's just lost a bit of time as well, same as Katamise did, and he's now just under a 10th up. So at the moment that will still get him above Ox, but is it enough? Is it enough? And he crosses the line and jumps up to currently P4. As we've got Gadropel Tartane coming round and stays P8. We've got Adam Mako now coming round the corner. He's gained a little bit of time and does go provisional pole with a great lap of 1:28.5. That's one to beat. Got Big Racky who's gone into the pits now. Is that Brid? No, it is his teammate Giza, who's invalidated. We've got the Haas coming round of Noodles, who stays where he is. Brid is the next and stays where he is in P7. Katamise is done. So we've got Thelemy next across the line, jumps up to P6 with a great lap. Portuguese Beast now. Can he jump back to pole? He can't. He's in P2. He's in P2. Amadi, will he make any moves? He's P3. Adam Mako's on pole. And he'll be absolutely chuffed with that. Pulled it out the bag in the last moment. And sets the tone for the race. He'll be absolutely thrilled, and it does come with that provisional that pole point as well. What a lap! 28.5. Up to the top 3 from last season. Our top 3 currently on the starting grid for tonight. But not in the same formation as you'd think. We've got Adamako on pole with a 28.5, just 400ths ahead of Portuguese Beast. And she's joined him on the front row. And we've got Amadi and AJ on row 4. AJ is Mr. Fourth. Can he sneak into that top 3 one day? Fingers crossed for him. We've got Ox and P5. Great to have him back with us this week, watching his beloved Arsenal, but realise where his loyalties lie. Thelemy in P6, Katamis in P7, Brid in P8, Gad Robert in P9, and ran off the top 10 is Cats with a great lap. Geezer 11, Biraki 12, 13 is Noodles, Project Tie are joining him on the 7th row, Lina Zukin, Devil Rejected, Danny Dine, and then Jax Daniels, who did have his lap invalidated. His quali banned to serve. So, but it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. So, oh no, the guys are going to kill me. I didn't do this, but we've got rain. Oh no. I was going to say, the strategy was going to be hards to mediums. Oh, I was going to do my C3PO. They speak 6 million languages. But no, strategy's out the window. Strategy is out the window. It doesn't look like it's wet, so I think it's intermediates. But wow. Wow. Of one of the tracks that you don't want rain in Singapore. I'm sorry, lads. I'd like to take ownership of it, but the game has spoken. So the guys are sorting out their fuel loads, potentially expecting a high chance of a safety car. As the cars are getting away, the lights are out, and who's going to get the better set off? They are all intermediates. And it looks like Adam has got away well. Portuguese, he has got away well. And Portuguese is under threat from Ahmadi and AJ. As Bellamy, they're all battling well, and we've lost a Red Bull. A Red Bull of Inazukan has spun, and so has Project Tie. It's a little bit tricky going around that S-bend. You've got to take it slow, and the slightest little tick as we've both. Big Racky has lost some places. Brid's lost a few places as well. There's a few people that have lost, but some people have gained as well. Jax is now up to P14, who's just got overtaken by Danny Dine. And has he got any damage? It's a virtual safety car, actually. Early safety car, so people to get themselves organised and settled. Just don't anyone get a drive-through, as the VSC has ended and we're away, and Adam is still ahead. The front 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. Everyone's up because Brid dropped down, didn't he? So Catherine's now up to P6. But as we've got AJ and Ox battling. AJ is on the inside of the next turn 14, battling hard with Ox. Just couldn't brake in time and just blocked Oxox's exit off, and that does put him under threat from Katamis. Katamis slotted in behind, trying to look to the overtake. I don't know if there is enough speed. He's looking on the inside. Is he going to be master of late braking? The three of them do. Oxox collides with AJ, knocks him off track. AJ gets the side penalty. I think it might get rescinded. There's nothing he could do about that. As we have Noodles has had a bit of a spin, I think. He's dropped down the order a little bit, and he does spin and hits the wall, and that's his game over. That's his game over, and we're going to see a safety car on the last corner. He took the throttle down too hard, and that's his game over. It's Big Racky. It is good news for the runners that have pitted. Well, it's only Big Racky's got damage, so. And he's sped in the pit lane. We've got an early Italian hand gesture. Hey, what you doing? Hey. Yeah, a rookie mistake. Big rookie. That's what you're getting called. Big rookie. Unlucky Noodles. Come and join the stream. Come and jump online. So safety car is out. Ox and Katamis. It was a three-way going into that new turn 16. Turn 16. But Ox just couldn't get it stopped, and Clyde with AJ forced him off and gave him that penalty. It will, if he sends it to the stewards, I'm sure it'll get rescinded. So just make sure you record your director race director as well. So yeah, we've got a safety car. We're probably just waiting for a big Raki to catch up now. So the order is Adamaku Amadi has jumped Portuguese into P2. So we absolutely happy with that on the restart. There is a bit of a gap. AJ is holding the rest of the guys up, probably trying to warm his tyres up a bit. We've got Hot Socks in P5, Katamise in P6. Gadropel Tartane, fantastic to see him again with us tonight. Filling in for Cameron in the Aston Martin. Currently P7, so doing well for the Aston Martin team. Thelemy in P8. Geezer P9, and then Devil Rejected. Good start for him, up to P10 in the top 10. Cats dropped one down to P11. Danny Dine P12. Jax has got up to P13. I'm sure he'll be eyeing a jump up the order. We're still waiting for Big Raki to come round. He'll probably do another lap if he can jump, if he can join on. Yeah, the track's had a few changes over its time. It's had numerous track resurfaces because it's such a bumpy track. It's almost as bad as Monaco. And yeah, no matter how much asphalt they put down, it just never rectifies it. But yeah, one of the big, massive changes. We've talked about the reprofiling of the float section, but turn 10, the Singapore Sling, it used to be a chicane corner with really high curves, and the drives going on. There's just so much. Every car that went over got floor damage. So over a weekend in 2010, I think it was. They just gradually lowered the corner, but it still didn't work, and they eventually just got rid of the chicane and replaced it with that left turn, which is such a skilled one. Like, you've got to be brave and brake and turn into it. If you don't, you take it too wide and you lose a good 2/10 at least. So, but such a fun corner, no one's taken the opportunity to pit. We're still waiting for Big Raki. Will it get round in time for us to still no call from the safety car to come in. It might be doing one more lap. Big Raki is just finding it a little bit tricky at the moment to get round. I think it's going to be doing one more lap. Unless it's a really late... So no, it's not going to do it now. It's too late. It's not like Japan last season with Katamise at the front and the safety car signal came out just before the casino chicane. Absolutely mental. There's no... Absolutely mental. How are you supposed to prepare for a safety car restart? Adam... keeping it calm here. He's going to want to hold that pack up when the safety car does come in. Everyone is in formation now, so it should be in this lap. And I think there'll be one or two who will be looking to try and take advantage of that start finish straight down to turn 1. The Benjamin Shears corner. Benjamin Shears goes under Benjamin Shears Bridge. Read today he's the name of I think it was like the second president of Singapore or something like that. But I think it's nice to have corners named after things. It just adds an extra. It adds a bit of tradition and character to tracks. There's ones like Qatar last week, which is, I think they loosely named a corner like Michael Schumacher corner or something daft like that. But no, it's nice. It's nice to have tracks with corner names. It just feels like they've got some sort of value and tradition and meaning. As just halfway through on lap turn 13, where it can be a tricky exit if if you put it down you throttle down too hard. It's a good overtaking opportunity. They have widened it by an extra metre for overtaking opportunities, and the safety car is in this lap. So Adam will be holding up the pack as much as possible, waiting for safety car to go in the pits. Can't obviously overtake until you get to the timeline. He's going to want to warm his tyres as much as possible. I think they all are. Armady waiting patiently. Adam Mack's just holding that pack up as much as possible. He's not going to want anyone to get any sort of run on him. Nice and slow. Now what you want to do when you're doing a safety car restart, consistent speed. You can't speed up and slow down. You've got to keep it consistent. You can't concertina, otherwise there will be a penalty for that, or at least a warning. He's still, and he's gone. I think he's gone. He's gone, and he has caught Amadi by a bit by surprise. He's got a gap of about 6 tenths ahead of Amadi. Amadi's going to have to squirt some of his ERS. And Portuguese was on his heels as well, but everyone seems like they're in good formation as Jax Daniels looks to overtake Danny Dine, force him off wide a little bit, but makes the overtake. No one's gone off drastically as Danny Dine is on the outside and gets overtaken by Brid also. Will Linazukan look to capitalise as well? No, he's not close enough as Danny Dine looks to try and take Brid again on the inside, but doesn't make it stick. As Big Racky's looking to make an overtake on Project Ty, coming in to turn 6, and it goes on the outside. Project Ty I think gives him room. Big Racky does go wide too much, lets Project Ty pass, a little bit bumping wheels, but yeah, lets him pass as he went off, otherwise he would have got an illegal overtake. So front 2 pulls us a little bit away from Portuguese Beast. His tyres aren't warm enough, which is a good opportunity for AJ and Oxox and Katamis to stay with him. As Bellamy forces Gadropatone a bit wide into the wall. I don't know if that was legal or not. It'd have to be a Stewart as he got damage. Looks okay to me, just struggling a bit of traction. Jax will look to make an overtake, slots in behind. Brid looking in the outside but doesn't have enough room. As Amadi and Adamako battling is on turns 16, 17 as Amadi jumps into first position, making a great overtake on that new reprofiled section, which is what it's there for. But Amadi making a great overtake, and Adamako is going to want to look at taking that place back. Of course, with a wet race, there's no DRS, so it's down to driver's skill and their use of ERS. Everyone has still got it. I don't think this track drains it too much, so you should be able to retain it as Brid and Jax battling, and Linazukan overtaking Danny Dine, so a couple of great overtakes there. Devil rejected, and Gadropatate, and I think Gadropatate might have damage as takes the back overtake as Devils goes wide, and great take there was Oxox and AJ battling. Oxox makes the move into P4, but AJ's going to want to take that place back as Jax I think has had a bit of a moment somewhere. Has he got damage? He's now back at the back of the grid, and want to do a last to first race again, trying to potentially do an overtake, but it's a bit tight. This is probably ways where you want to do it. Goes a bit wide, tries to do a switchback, but not. It does as Project Time Big Racky touch wheels and collide. Easy overtake for Jax, gets him back up to P15 with a little bit of air. So straight into the wall. He couldn't turn in, and was that his teammate that hit him as well? Got another safety car. Another safety car. Will we see anyone pit for some fresh intermediates? Or will it be track position? Everyone's still quite close, so it'll be quite risky too. I don't think anyone's jumped in yet, but Jax will. He's just lost his wing. Just couldn't turn in. as everyone seems still to be going round. As I think Linazukin is in the pits. I don't know if he's got damage or not. He doesn't. He's just putting some fresh intermediates. Why not? In the position you're in, you might as well. You've got nothing to lose. They'll have better temperatures than yeah, Project Ty and Jax. Both teammates, both getting damaged. So Jax, as what's happened to Katz? Katz is spun off under the safety car. Oh my gosh! Coming out of turn 5. Oh, just put his throttle down too much. Oh, he should know better. I don't know how much he's been racing. As Wolves is 1-1. I've got Wolves down to win for that. As Sheffield United or Leeds United, fucking fantastic. Oh my god, I just can't take it. Hey Noodles, I've got an open party if you wanted to jump on. His Cats has actually retired. He just couldn't get his car turned. Yeah, he's called it a night. Thanks for jumping in anyway, but oh, Fergus, I'm not in a good mood. If United don't win, I'm not going to be in a good mood, I'm telling you now. So if there's any shit chatting later on, I'm not standing for any of it. How are we losing to Sheffield United? They're one of the worst Premier League teams that have ever existed, and we're losing at home to Sheffield United. And I can guarantee you, it's bloody Casemiro. Absolute dead he is. He's dead. Oh my god. So we do have a safety car. So Medina will do the safety car restart with Adamako in P2. No one has actually pitted. So it will just mean we can eat these tyres out a little bit longer. So people's strategies will come in play. Fuel load, etc., etc. Portuguese Beast in P3, who won't want to get caught again. Oxox, who's now starting in P4. We've got ahead of AJ, but AJ is going to be wanting to get that place back. Katamis staying on P6, nice consistent P6. Thelemy P7, he'll be happy with that and be looking to make 1 or 2 places, trying to look for those opportunities. Gadrup or Tartane, who got squeezed off, I think it was, by Thelemy, so doesn't seem to have any damage, so want to take that place back from him. As was goal disallowed. Okay, so Bournemouth 1-0 up. Okay, Keys Giza, P9. I think he'll be happy with that. Mr. Consistent. 2 places ahead of his teammate in 11th. Dev rejected, top 10. He'll be absolutely chuffed with that. Some good points to the Towery team with his teammate. That's what we want. We want constructors to go to the wire. So make sure you finish, get some points for your team. Unfortunately, Williams won't get any points, and neither will Haas. And that's partly down to their teammates not showing up. Danny Dine down in P12 for his teammate currently in P1. Big Raki in the McLaren P13. Did pit and is the last of people that didn't pit under the safety car, and then we've got Lindsay Kantai and Jack Daniels. So the Alpine guys are going to want to put their foot down. Get your head down, work your way up the grid. As Palace 1-0 up against Newcastle. Woohoo! The Geordie boys will not be happy as the safety car is in this lap. Matman. Oh, sorry, I'm not going to. No, Matman. Chris, I'm not going to take the piss. I'm not. Because we are losing. I've just clicked that we are losing. I've got no right to laugh. Okay. Focus. So, just coming down. Raffles Avenue. He's going to want to hold this up as long as possible. Is he going to put his foot down after turn 17 like Adamako is? Adamako is right off onto his gearbox. There's no weaving here. They're ready and waiting. When is he going to go? The safety car is in. He's going to do it as late as possible. When he's going to go. How's he gone? He's gone. And he's caught Adamako. He's gained about half a second now. Portuguese Beast has got Ox right behind him, as we've got Katamise looking to take inside of AJ, but just tried too hard and got overtaken by Thelemy, and I think there's been a collision with Thelemy, who's dropped down to the bottom of the grid. There must have been a collision with Katamise, who tried to make that dive bomb. And you just can't do it in these conditions, but it has stopped raining, so I think we would be potentially moving on to some soft soon, so that's why the drivers didn't pit as Jax gets past his teammate. I think they're battling, unless Jax is spam. Yeah, they're battling there, so Project I does jump ahead of his teammate. Red up to P9, making the overtake on Devil Rejected. Down on turn 9. Still in formation. The top two have managed to pull away and make a bit of a gap ahead of Portuguese Beast, who has got Oxox right in his gearbox. Oxox will be licking his lips right here as the rain starts to come out again. I thought it had stopped, but it's still there. It's still wet. Oh well, we still got some inters then. Bellamy doesn't look like he's got any damage. I think he just got had a bit of a racing incident potentially, or a bit too aggressive from Katamise. Lenazukan makes the overtake on Big Raki down into turn 16, goes a bit deep as Lenazukan makes the overtake again, and back up to P12, makes the switch back with a Big Raki's mistake, and Big Raki will be looking to try that move again. He does have Project Ty right up behind him. He might want to look at turn 1. No, thinks better of it. To try another day. Amadi now made a bit of a gap now between him and Adamako. He's got a second gap between Portuguese. He's got Oxox still right behind him. He'll be eyeing that podium position. Any of these drivers can make a mistake in these conditions. One step on the throttle too hard, or can set you on a spin, or even just a bit of loss of traction can give the opportunity to drive behind. But Portuguese clips the wall, gives a bit of opportunity for Oxox to make that overtake. Just put on the defence, as Oxox is right in his gearbox. He's not going to look at overtaking there. It's just a risky move going down there in turn 10. You're not going to want to do that, but will he look at doing that in turn 13 in the hairpin? No, he's going to follow him round, maybe do it on a bit of a straight. How did Portuguese get any damage, as we have lost Thelemy, who's either had a bit of a collision or spin, but he is dropped a few seconds again as Kiza jumps ahead of Gadropel Tartane. Great overtake as we're coming round turn 14 now. Follows suit. Kiza has had a bit of a collision. We've lost Devil Rejected. What happened to him? He's had a collision on turn 14, and we have lost him, and it's another safety car. Looked like Big Raki had a bit of an incident there with Linazukan, as he lost his wing. I don't know if that's because of the incident with Devil Rejected, as we've got one or two jumping into the pits, whether it's forced or not. The Alpine boys again. Is anyone looking? It's still wet. It's still raining, so everyone's got to go on intermediate. As Gadrock or Tartane downwards have all jumped in the pits. Everyone's jumping on some fresh intermediates. Big Raki serving a penalty for that incident. So unfortunately, if it wasn't his fault, we won't be able to get it rescinded. As we do have one or two who are looking to try going on some slick tyres. Jack's on the softs and Prod on the mediums, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. It still looks wet to me. There's still some rain falling, so it would be interesting to see how they... Oh, it's looking a bit like an ice rink there for Project Ty. How does Jax come round? Quite tentative. Now the way to know if it's good enough for slicks is it... Oh, he's a bit of a slide there. It's like you should see a racing line, but can't see one myself. And it does... I don't know if it's my eyes, but is it still raining? I don't know if it's an early call or not. Loses back end a bit as he makes his way around. He is they are tiptoeing round, but could this be a master stroke call from the Alpine lads? They've got nothing to lose really. They're not aquaplaning this. They're drifting around these corners, being quite tentative. It's gonna be a risky one, but I can't see any rain, so yeah, nothing to lose. He's got big Raki who's right up him, who's managed to catch him. We're doing at least another lap again. As United are 2-2. Come on, United! Oh, no, it's just loud. For God's sake, it's ruining my life. Amadeus jumped in the pits. AJ and Katames and Brid and Thelemy, are they all jumping onto some soft tyres here? They are. They've made the call. They've made the call, and it is 2-2 to United. Come on, United. And hard for AJ, Katames. So potentially they're looking that they could maybe go to the end. And Everton 2-0. Everton are 2-0 against Liverpool, and that's their title charge over. Absolutely brilliant. You love to see it. And I'll tell you what you love to see. Harry Maguire's got both United's goals. Harry Maguire. He ain't got a 4 head, he's got 5 heads. Harry Maguire, man. Oh my God. And Liverpool losing 2-0 to Everton. You love to see it. It's back to the race. Now, safety car. I don't know, will it be out another lap because all these guys are pit? We'll see. Will the... if it does, these guys in front have got to pit. These guys in front have got to pit. Could it have been a masterstroke? Project Ty as now he's got himself, if the slick tyres are the ones to be on, he's got himself into net P1. He's got himself into net P1 from being back of the grid. Woo! Wow. Now that would throw an absolute spanner in the works. As what's happened to Katames? Why has he dropped a place there? As I don't know, I think Fred's just overtaken him illegally. So well, these guys on the intermediates pit. Safety car is still declared out. There's still a couple of cars to join the queue, so it might be another lap. And it looks dry to me. The guys in front have got to pit, and they are going to lose some places. Wow. So out the front runners, Amadi, AJ, and Katames are all looking. And does anyone go in? And has Adam Mako stayed out? They have stayed out, and it looks like Arcsox has jumped in for slick tyres. Oh, this is gonna be an absolute ball of a race. Like, Arcsox are pitted now, and he's dropped to the back of the grid. So with Adamaco, Portuguese, Kizagis and Gadrop Tartane, they can't win this race surely unless another safety car comes out. Project Ty is net P1. And he's going to be absolutely buzzing. Armady net P2, Katames net P3, AJ net P3, Katames net P4. Wow, this grid's going to be completely mixed. Which the drivers that are out of position are going to be putting their foot down. They're not going to be holding back. The safety car is going to be in this lap, and those guys on the intermediates have got to pit. I don't know why they haven't. It looks dry to me, and it was an absolute master stroke from Project I and Jack Daniels too. But unfortunately for him, he got held behind his teammate. Otherwise, he'll be right behind him. I think Jack's only fault really is jumping onto the softs, but if you get another safety car come out, absolute lapping. The guys on the hard tyres potentially could go to the end. with the safety car. This is obviously the third safety car we've had. And I think the game does limit how many safety cars come out per race, as the safety car is in, and those guys in the intermediates, oh, their podium challenge is out the window. But Adamako does have the safety car restart. He's not going to be holding back though. He's not going to. There's got nothing to lose. He's got to wait for the safety car to go in, but there's nothing to lose. There's no point in holding the pack up. They've all got to go in. They've got to lose it. And Gadorop Tartin is going to lose the most because he's right up behind his teammate. He's going to get held up in the pits. As Project Ty is holding them up, and he's away. He's away, and he's caught Amadi as we've got behind, looking to do the overtake. Cassidy's just the outside of Brid, and just on the outside of Brid, make contact, but no one goes off, and Catamese jumps ahead of Thelemy as Brid has dropped a couple of places. Trying to go on the outside. There's a bit of wheel banging there from, didn't look too tasty. Brid has dropped down between Oxox and Linazukin. Oxox is going to try and jump up a few places from starting lower down. As Jax now is up to P. We lost now Catamese. I think there's a bit too much hustling, bustling, battling. That's what happens when people are out of position. And it'll be interesting to hear what happened there, but he was in a good position and now he's right up ahead of his teammate, or several seconds ahead of his teammate. So Amadi has jumped into P1, managed to get past Projectile, and AJ is now right on the gearbox of Projectile and would want to look at dispatching him quite quickly. Got Jax Daniels, so the Alpine lads are in prime position as Oxox now gets ahead of Thelemy, going into turn 14. Thelemy may want to take the overtake again as Oxox is now right up behind. Jax doesn't try to make the overtake there as we're going in quick formation. He'll want to do it, and I think DRS will be open potentially now in this lap. I'm pretty sure it won't be activated now as Thelemy does take a quick lift. There's Lenzuki and his teammate right behind. As Red has just made an overtake on Danny Dine. He's on the inside going to turn 3 and made a clean overtake. Katamisa want to try and follow him through, but I don't know if he'll be close enough to do it on turn 5, but he will have DRS. Danny Dine will have DRS. I don't know, it's not activated yet, as AJ does take P2. Katamese using his ERS and his 0-0 wings, and great overtake going into turn 6. He want to try and get up that grid as quick as possible. He won't be wanting to hang around, and next on his sights is Brid, who isn't an easy customer. So AJ, Adamako has Portuguese Beast right up behind him. They probably want to work together now and use DRS and try and catch up with the cars in front, hoping for another safety car to get themselves back in contention. And then we've got Kiza Geezer and Gadrop Tartane. All those lads just making the wrong call. And Amadi will be absolutely laughing. Last week's winner has got no challenges. He's basically in his own race now. It's AJ in P2, Project Time and Jax in 3 and 4. And again, they're going to want to work together, trying to stay in contention with AJ. Amadi setting a new fastest lap of 31.6, so he is flying, absolutely flying. DRS is still not activated, so it's got to be either this lap or the start of next lap. Jax is right up his teammates' rear end, and Oxox is following suit, so considering he dropped to the back of the grid, he's looking to do a switch back on Jax Daniels and makes it stick. Great overtake there from Oxox onto turn 5, but he is vulnerable. A little bit of wheel banging, but great overtake. Who we lost? I think it was the Ferrari, maybe of Danny Dine. And he'll look to want to jump and take Project Ty. Will he look at doing it now? Project Ty has used all his ERS, so Oxox will know that. He'll probably hold off and wait to turn 13. But he's pushing him round the corners. He's pushing him round, and Willie Luck doing a switchback again. He goes on the inside, a little bit of traction lost from Project High, and Oxox jumping up as Jax lost a couple of places to lost a place to Thelemy, and Ty is still in front of. As we've lost Adamako, what has happened to Adamako? As he looks like he's gone out in Sector 2, and he'll be, I don't know what happened there, whether it was battling or not. I'd only assume if it was battling it would be with it would be battling with Portuguese, or he's span off, but his race is there's no chance of him getting a podium now. The guy that was on pole and started on pole is out, and it's another safety car. And the guys are jumping in the pit again. Italian hand gesture for Danny Dine. What are you doing, my man? You don't want to be doing that. And everyone who will be looking at opportunity to jump in the pits, and that will bring the likes of Portuguese Beast, Keys Geezer and Gadrop Tartane back in contention. Gadrop Tartane will have to pit again going on those softs. I don't know why you would do that, but Katami's gone onto the softs. I don't think he can get to the end on them. I would have potentially gone on the mediums and could have got you to the end. But he's probably looking at getting a couple of places. So, it's still a mixed grid. Armadee and P1 who absolutely pulled away, but everyone is back in formation again. AJ and P2 still with that penalty, but I must say I think there's a high chance it will get rescinded. Project High and P3 going strong, absolutely going strong, making the call to jump in on those slicks early, and it was the right call. Oxox in P4, who's worked his way up from the back of the grid after making the call to pit under the safety car before and losing those places, making the early damage, and it's paid dividends. We've got the two Red Bulls in 5th and 6th, showing good pace. Big Racky now up to P7. He was at the back, and it shows what perseverance gets to you. Portuguese Beast now up to P8. We'll have to see what happens with Adamako, if it was wheel-to-wheel related or not. Keys Geezer. He always seems to be in P9. He's back in P9 anyway, so he'll be chuffed with that. As what's happened there? Linzukin is now jumping in the pits. Potentially probably jumping onto the mediums. He is. Knows that. He'll be under pressure from the people behind him. So Keys up to P8, not P9 anymore, he's P8. Katami is in P10 on those softs, but it'll be struggle to get to them on the end. Well, I don't know actually. 13 laps. No, you could do that, I reckon. 13 laps, a couple under the safety car. Yeah, okay, I'll get you. Bread behind him, P11. I think we've had one or two little squabbles earlier on in the race. Danny Dine P12 had to serve that penalty. Lina Zukin has just pitted, and so did Godrappel Tartane, who's holding up the grid. Unfortunately, we've lost Adamako, Devil rejected, Cats and Noodles. 13 laps to go. You'd like to say I'm a Diaz favourite, but you never know at all. You never know. I think Oxox are behind that podium, and I'm I'm crossing my fingers for AJ. I call him Mr. P4, and he always just misses out on that podium with Adamako, unfortunately, out of the race, and Portuguese Beast a few cars in between them, and safety car is in this lap. There's a good chance for AJ to get that podium, but he does have the likes of Oxox, Thelemy and Portuguese Beast behind them who'll be looking at this as a mini sprint race. There's Amadi. When is he going to go? He's got to wait for that safety car to come in. And Jax Daniels gets a penalty for hitting the back of Giza. I'm sure he'll send that into the stewards if it wasn't his own fault. Amadi. AJ is right on his gearbox. When is he going to go? When is he going to go? And he's gone. He's gone. It seems to be the place to go for everybody. As Project gets a penalty. Oh, you wouldn't want to get that, and gets overtaken by Oxox. And Thelemy overtaking Big Raki as well. Portuguese Beast overtaking Big Raki. They're battling, but Big Raki just stays ahead as Portuguese Beast tries to look on the outside and does. Great overtake from Big Raki there, and from Portuguese Beast on Big Raki. There's 1 or 2 penalties flying in. Gadropol Tartane has jumped 2 places on Danny Dine, and Linazukan hits the back of Jax Daniels and makes him spin. Jax will not be happy with that. We caught that on camera as Bid and Katamise colliding. Katamise battling a bit there. Katamise is wheel banging. Just keep it straight, Katamise. On the inside. You don't want to be battling there on turn 10. That was brave, as he hasn't been given room. I don't think Katamise was given room there, and Brid has span. Again, it's one for the race stewards, that one, but you don't want to be battling in that section. That's absolutely crazy. As we've lost Gadol Tartane as well, he's span. Project Tide dropping down as getting overtaken by Thelemy and Portuguese Beast. As Gadol Tartane has retired, I think, or lost a session. But Amadeus, as we've lost Project Tires, have been overtaken again. He's hit by a couple of cars. Kizagiz and Big Raki jumping in. Oxox jumps over at AJ with the DRS. AJ is going to want to stay with Oxox. Oxox is flying, and he's going to want to try and catch up. If anyone's going to catch Amadi, it's Oxox. So maybe if he can pull out AJ with him. So I don't know. I don't think DRS is activated yet. Not until the next lap. As Katamise jumps on Project Tie, who's just dropping back. He's just unable to challenge. And Portuguese making the overtake on Thelemy on the outside of turn 6. Great overtaken. Portuguese is working his way up. So AJ is going to want to stick with Oxox now to keep him away from Portuguese. This is your podium. My fingers are crossed. You've got 11 laps left. But Portuguese will be flying on the medium tyres compared to your hards. And he's pulled out that 1 second zone as well. Oh, AJ. Oh, no. I had my fingers crossed for you, mate. But I'm speaking too soon. Portuguese is 2.3 seconds behind. He's got some time to make up. I'm speaking too soon. And all it takes is a penalty, doesn't it? Or a spin or a wobble. As he's pulling Thelemy behind with him. So 11 laps to go. Amadi is pulled ahead with 3.6 seconds. As DRS is now enabled, and AJ could have done that a couple of laps ago. So Thelemy will make use of this behind Portuguese. So if Portuguese and Thelemy do a bit of battling, that will help AJ. As Katamise makes the overtake on Kizagiza down the start-finish straight and makes a clean exit on turn 3, and he'll have Big Raki in his sights to make it to P6. Try and get some more points for the Mercedes guys. At the moment, looks like some good points for the McLaren duo. The only cars that have got 2 in the top 10, as Project Tie gets overtaken by both Jax and Danny Dine. Jax right behind Danny Dine, and we'll want to look at doing an overtake, but I don't know if it's the right time. Maybe just coming around turn 9. I don't think he's close enough, and I don't think you want to do it on turn 10. Turn 13 is where you want to make that overtake. So we'll stick with these guys to see if it happens. There is the DRS zone, and Danny Dine will be vulnerable potentially by both of the Alpine cars. Oh, Jack's had to bail out of that, and his teammate takes advantage. Both have a DRS, but yeah, he did well to not hit the back of Danny Dine, as Catanese does take big Raki. Well, Raki will try to fight back into turn 16, but isn't close enough. Pushes around the and just taps the back of Catanese, and Catanese spins, and he won't be happy with that. He'll be sending that back in, as both the Alpine cars take Catanese, and it's a case of head down and put your foot down as Jax makes the overtakes. Projectile, I think, lets him past, and also lets Catanese past. So Catanese and Jax will be battling again, so I think that'll be one for the stewards. It's Portuguese Beast now making the overtake on AJ down the DRS zone, coming into turn 6, and Jax gets another penalty as AJ gets a 3-second penalty, so even if his other one gets rescinded, he still has that 3 seconds, so he's going to want to pull at least 3 seconds between him and Thelemy to try and consolidate that P4. I'll be absolutely gutted with that. We'll see on the stewards' reports. I have a feeling there'll be 1 or 2 in this race. And United are 3-2 up. Get in. It's inevitable, really. We always like making it hard for ourselves. As Bruno Fernandes, actually Maguire's got 1 and Bruno's got 2. So Bruno coming into a bit of form near the end of the season. It's what you need from your captain, a captain performance. And there's a performance here from Amadi, who's just avoided any instance, made the right decisions at the right time, and has just pulled away. Oxoxen's not managed to keep with him, but he's in a safe zone at the moment if he can keep it consistent. In the P2, you've got Portuguese in P3. He's dropped AJ. But AJ does have that 3 seconds now on Thelemy, so if he can keep that gap between him and P5, then that P4 will be his if he does send that stewards report in. So the only battle really potentially we'll have is Lina Zukin currently. P12 looking to make the overtake and Project Tie. DRS is open, but I don't think he's close enough on turn 6. Not quite. He's not going to look to try and do it here in Stamford or Padang. Neither are the right times to do it. He'd be brave to do it on the single thing. He's having a look though. Just pulls back into his formation. If you stick with him close, he can potentially do it on the hairpin here with the DRS zone. He's following him round. His DRS wing does open. Can he make it stick going into turn 14? He looks on the inside. Just not quite close enough again. But follows him out the corner. Burns that ERS. Looking on the outside. I don't know if he'll make this stick. They're going to go side by side through the corner. Some great racing by Ty and Lina Zukin. Great respectful driving as Lina Zukin should have the opportunity down the start-finish rate with the DRS zone again. As Catanese has now jumped in the pits. Is he looking to go on some new softs? He does go on some new softs, so he'll want to potentially. There's a bit of a wiggle there from Project Tyne. It does give Lina Zukin the opportunity to make the overtake. As Ty just gives him a little push around the corner. Is it Ty that has the DRS? He does, so he's going to look to fight back for that position. But I don't think he's close enough. Lina Zukin does use his DRS and remains in front. Great battling from those pair. Catanese is just coming out the pits now. He's got a bit of a gap to make up now ahead of him with Bread. But he'll potentially try and look at getting that fastest lap anyway. Realised he didn't really have anywhere to go. As Big Raki is close to Kiza Giza. And these two always end up battling together. He has Danny Dine and Jax Daniels as well for company. So we potentially could have a four-way battle for P6 if Big Raki can get close enough to Kizagiza. Kizagiza has slightly pulled away, and Portuguese has got a penalty. So that would ruin his chances for P2. And how will that play for AJ? If Portuguese gets another penalty, that could play in the hands for AJ. As Man U are now 4-2 and have consolidated that win. And you'd love to see it. My mate's gone up to Old Trafford today, so with his kid for the first time. So he'll be absolutely buzzing. Project Tyres jumping in the pits, jumping on a set of softs as well. Realise his tyres probably aren't what they need to be to get to the end of the lap, end of the race. And then yeah, drops behind, and potentially even behind Katamise as he just comes around. He does come behind Katamise, so may see those two battling hard. Katamise is catching up with Brid and a second and a half behind now. We do have that four-way battle as Oxox now gets a penalty. Oh, now it does throw. It means that Portuguese can just put his foot down. He might have let his foot off a little bit, but the pressure on for Oxox of pushing has forced him a penalty. Now, if one of those two ahead get another penalty, then AJ will be in contention for a podium. You'd like to think. As Jax has just been dropped slightly. Danny Dine and Big Raki now right up behind Kizagiza. A fight for P6. So we'll have the DRS. Jax may have the DRS as well. He's not quite close enough. But he'll stick with them round the S-bends of turns 1, 2 and 3. Kizagiza will not be happy with this. He's down the DRS straight. The cars behind will have the DRS. Wings open. Will get closer towards him to turn 6. Is Big Raki close enough to make the overtake? He's not quite. But they are right on his gearbox now. Him, Danny Dine. As Katamise makes the overtake on Brid. They've had one or two collisions, but that was a clean overtake on this instance. Brid may want to look at battling back down the DRS straight. But Katamise is on slightly newer tyres. Has formed a big enough gap, I think. He's formed a big enough gap. Is that Gadrotartane's car? It looks like it to me. He has retired from the session, but his car's still going round, so... Palace 2-0 up on Newcastle. Hilarious. So Amity, well away now. 6 seconds ahead as Project Tide jumps ahead of Brid. Goes a little bit wide, which gives the opportunity for Brid to make the overtake again into turn 13. He'll have DRS as well. Will Ty have a good enough traction off the corner? He's not quite close enough there. So he's got the 6 seconds plus the 3 second penalty, so he's absolutely flying. This race is his unless he spins off. He's got 4 laps to go. Oxox currently in P2, now 1.7 seconds ahead of Portuguese. Both have penalties, so it is a race for position if he manages to catch up to him. AJ now 6.6 seconds behind Portuguese, so even with the penalties, I think he's not quite close enough to get to that podium, unfortunately. But Thelemy is 5.4 seconds behind. Let's have a quick look at those penalties. So AJ does have the 6, so I'd say he does have 3. Danny Dine and Jax with those penalties. So is Big Raki potentially and Kizagiza fighting for position, which they have been recently. And Jax gets another penalty, so he's found it difficult to keep it on the track. The Big Raki and Kizagiza, I think every single race they end up battling with each other all the time. Following suit by suit. Neither of them have penalties, so it is a race for position. Kizagiza's done well to keep Big Raki behind. for these few laps. But how long can he do it for? Big Racky is on the harder tyres. I'd probably say at this stage they've probably both got about equal grip. So it's down to the driver's skill, management of the start tyres, how much fuel they've got. Both have got similar ERS. He's right up on his gearbox now. He's potentially going to be looking at doing this overtake now on the DRS section. Down Republic Boulevard. Down Raffles. Down Raffles is looking on the inside, going into turn 6, and great overtake from Big Racky. It just goes a little bit wide. It gives opportunity for Keys Geezer to make the overtake, but Big Racky is the inside, and that's very fantastic driving there from both. As Danny Dine, I think, just clips the back of Keys Geezer and collides a bit with Jax. I think it was just a bit of cars a bit too close there, bit of concertina in, but great respectful driving from these two. And Keys Geezer, we look at battling back. He's got the DRS again. Coming round turn 13. Jax loses his traction. Did he clip the wall a little bit there? His car's ghosting a little bit. He's wiggling. I think he's letting Danny Dine through. He's letting Danny Dine through. That's, again, very respectful driving from Jax there. He realised he did hit the back of Danny Dine and let him pass. So you love to see that. Very great sportsmanship. As we're coming to the end of lap 28 here for these drivers. Can Keys Geezer make the overtake back on Big Racky? I don't know if he's not enough in DRS. So Big Racky has managed to pull away. There's great driving from him. Bode his time well, and Jax is looking to make the overtake again on Danny Dine. Wasn't close enough at this instance, but we want to look at doing it on the next DRS down Raffles. So Keezer is battling back, jumping in the slipstream, trying to get back in that DRS zone. If he want to take back that P6 that he's been riding in so well. Just a little bit slow around that corner. Racky has better traction. He's using his ERS, managed to get back in that DRS. Got to navigate these corners well to stay in contention, and he does. He's back in the DRS zone. They're battling again. As Big Racky goes a bit wide, did that hamper his launch off the corner? Keys Geezer does have his DRS wing open, but he's not close enough to make the overtake. I don't think he's close enough here either. He'll jump in the slipstream, but he's fell back out of DRS. So we find it difficult at this distance behind. Great driving from those pair though. Katamise on those new softs didn't manage to set that new fastest lap. I could be wrong. I'll have to check the standings afterwards, but not really making a good enough effect. And currently P11. Tyre the same on his new tyres. Rid has just stopped for new tyres as Jax makes the overtake on Danny Dine, going down the start-finish straight. Great overtake, and makes himself up to P8. Now penultimate lap. We're halfway through the penultimate lap. It's got 6.2 seconds gap between him and Oxox. Oxox has got a couple of seconds between him and Portuguese now, with a lap and a half to go. Portuguese has got some work cut out for him, but unless Oxox sets another penalty, which I really hope he doesn't, then he'll have that P2. AJ running that P4, now 10 seconds behind the podium sitters. Thelemy, very consistent, currently in no man's land now. He's just got to keep it on track, try not get any penalties, but Big Racky is 12 seconds behind him. Pulled a bit of gap now between Keys Geezer and P7. And then we've got Jax, who'll probably drop with penalties. Danny Dine, the same. Lynn Zukin in P10 in the second Red Bull, so there's a chance he's going to jump up a couple of places. Maybe even Katamise if he can pull a bit more time back. Final lap, guys. Danny Dine trying to make an overtake on Jax. I don't know if he's close enough, but I'm not sure we're going to get any more overtakes on this final lap. It is the formation that we've got. We shall see if anyone can do a final lunge. And this guy has done a... This is how the masterclass should be. Armady, the winner of last week's race. Just coming around turn 13. Going to take home the top step of this race also. He's just coming up to turn 16 and fantastic race. And he comes around the final corners, the checker flag's waving, and Armady comes home in P1. Fantastic drive from him, followed by Ox, who's worked his way from the back of the grid, coming home in P2, closely followed by Portuguese in P3. AJ, I was rooting for you. I was really rooting for you, but the guys in front were just too strong on pace, and you come home in P4. Great race from AJ, made the right call. Bellamy coming home in P5. It does say P4, but I think that will be rescinded. Big Racky, great race from him. He has dropped Giza, and will come home and consolidate that P6 for the McLaren team. That good points haul. Giza, P7. Jack Daniels coming home in P8. I don't know how these standings. We'll have to look at. Another unserved penalty from Jax there. So Danny Dine jumps him. Katamise. And Katamise crashes off before the last corner. Was that Jack? That was Jax. I don't know what happened there. Somebody did. Oh, unless it was... I don't know. Confused me. Anyway, Katamise comes home P10, and it's just finished. Project Tyres left over the line. Hey, congrats to me, that's one. And there we have it, guys. Danny Dine, your driver of the day, and a very well deserved. It's very rare, to be fair, the game gives the driver of the day to the person that wins it. It's like it getting given by Gary Neville himself. And we have our podium standings there with Armady on the top step, Ox in P2, and Portuguese first, both P2 and P3, first race of the season, and getting their podiums. And they're going to be opening that bottle of fizzy stuff. We're in Singapore. Let's not have no champagne. It's the home of the Singapore Sling. It's what the corner was named after. You're having that lovely cocktail. Clink your cocktail glasses. Lovely. Well done, drivers. Well done. And we have our standings here. And it started raining again. What's happening? It's raining again. We've got, Armady P1, Ox in P2, Portuguese in P3. Who did well considering he had the tyres blunder. Bellamy coming home in P4, AJ in P5. Like I said, that may get switched round following the stewards report. We've got Big Racky, P6. Great race from him. Giza the same in P7. Fantastic racing. Danny Dime P8. Linda Zook in P9. Katamise in P10. Project Type P11. Jax P12 with his penalties, but we'll see on how we do with stewards. Brid P13. Gad Ropertart 14. Adam as the first of the DNFs, alongside Devils, Rejected, Cats and Noodles. So there we have it, folks. It's not letting me exit the game, so I shall have to exit myself. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. It was a fantastic race. This is Lights Out League Racing, and next week, race 3 of season 24, and we will be in. We're going to Miami. Miami. Yeah, Miami. I love Miami. It's one of my favourite tracks, and can't wait to meet you all there. So